Hello folks, this video is another one of my old re-uploaded videos created for the ButtonMasherz channel. This video is League of Legends number 69, Viewer Game, Annie Tutorial, originally recorded on April 19th, 2011. Enjoy! Hello folks, this is Sula again, and you're listening to a commentary video for League of Legends. What I'm going to be doing in this video is looking at a replay that was sent to me by someone who is watching on YouTube. I can't upload full games to the ButtonMasherz channel right now because they currently have an upload limit of 15 minutes, so what I'm going to do here instead is look at this replay that Damisan sent me. It's Damisan, I think it is, Damisan. I'm sorry if I'm not getting that name right. Anyway, he sent me this replay. This is from a lower level game. This is from, I believe, level 20s. People are level 20. And what he asked me to do is just look at this game and try to talk about things that lower level players can try to do to improve, things that they can work on. So we're going to treat this as a bit of a tutorial. And I'm going to look at about the first 15 minutes of this game and try to point out various different things. So first of all, things I noticed right away on this team setup is there's no jungler on either of these teams. So first of all, just on the team setup, you should try to watch what people do, watch what people are picking in the champion select, and if no one is taking a jungler for your team, then you should be prepared to play a jungler. So that would be the first thing that I'd point out. Notice that there's no jungler on either team. Secondly, look at the team comp here. Notice that the team that Damisan is on has Karthus, Veigar, and Annie. All of these champions fulfill the same function on the team. They're all casters, all mage champions that are going to rely on ability power. They're all going to do magic damage. So this is way too much magic damage. You don't need this much magic damage on your team. If you see everybody locking in with AP champions, you should be prepared to play an AD champion, an attack damage champion. So you should be able to play some kind of attack damage champion, whether that's Ashe, whether that's Misfortune, whether that's Sivir, or whoever. But you should be prepared to play at least one of those champions so that your team isn't quite so unbalanced. So those are the two things that I point out right away, Damisan, or Damisan. Sorry, I still don't know how to pronounce that. I guess I'll try to go with Damisan for this game. But so those are some things you should keep in mind. I mean, those are things that immediately came to mind when I was looking at this, is that this is not good team composition. Fortunately, the enemy team is just as bad. Notice they have Fiddles, Vladimir, and Karthus. Again, triple ability power champions, along with a laning Shaco, which is also really bad. So, but again, just be prepared to play what your team needs. At a bare minimum, you should be able to play one ability power caster, one attack damage champion, one jungler, one tank, and one support. So really, those are the kind of the 5 different character types in this game. You should be prepared to play at least one out of all 5 of them. So if you're still learning the game, see if you can try to learn at least one of all 5 of those choices, and then you can further specialize from there. Okay, in terms of what you've done here, Damisan, in terms of your summoners, Flash Ignite is exactly what you should be taking on Annie, so well done there. Those are good choices. The one thing I would say, starting with Doran's Ring is very defensible in terms of a starting item. Just be aware that that does mean you have no health pots, so that means that we won't be able to heal at all in lane, so you have to be very careful. If you get harassed, that means that you can get harassed out of the lane pretty easily by somebody who has health pots, so you have to be careful about that. One thing that I've been doing a bit with Annie is sometimes starting with a Sapphire Crystal and 2 health pots, just because, and then building it into Catalyst. Again, Doran's Ring, not necessarily a bad choice, but you do have to be careful of that. Anyway, there was a disconnect in this game. The Karthus player disconnected. I saw this before when I took a quick look at the replay, and that would be a factor in why this team struggled. But again, I'm not going to look at that too much. I'm going to look more at the lane here. Other stuff, Vampiric Scepter is a terrible starting item. You should never start with a Vampiric Scepter. It's not good, guys. Like, seriously, don't start with Vampiric Scepter. It's not good. 12% lifesteal. When you start the game, most champs have 50 to 60 damage, so 12% of that means that you get back, like, let's see, doing the math in my head, I think you get back like 8 health per attack. I mean, come on, that's nothing. You do much better, if you want to get health back, you do much better to get some kind of health regen item. Alright, and then one other thing, notice that Veigar has bought boots and no health pots, and look at this, the Karthus has done the same thing. I mean, again, you start with 475 gold, so spend it at the start of the game. Opening with boots is not at all a bad idea, but if you're going to open with boots, then buy 3 health pots, or 2 health pots and a mono pot, but use the money you have. Similarly, don't just open with Sapphire Crystal, give yourself the health pots. Okay, anyway, one other thing that Damisan had mentioned in the email he sent me was that Shaco was causing problems, that he was trying to figure out how to deal with Shaco. And that makes sense because Shaco is a little bit of a complicated champion. So a little bit about Shaco. He is a champion that can go stealth. He uses his ability known as Deceive. It allows him to blink, briefly in any direction, so he can blink a short distance in any direction, and it also causes him to go invisible. So he will be invisible for, I believe, six seconds after he uses it. Now, this is different from the invisibility that a champion like Twitch or Evelyn uses. They can go invisible for long periods of time. Shaco does not go invisible for long periods of time. He can only be stealthed for 6 seconds. So again, if you see him going stealth with his Deceive, and you'll note there's always a little puff of smoke anytime he uses his Deceive, you can just back up and go back towards your tower, and his invisibility will run out pretty quickly. So that's one way you can deal with it. Secondly, you have to remember that towers reveal stealth units. Like, look at this area right here. Oh, there's Shaco coming out of his Deceive again. Like, look at this area right here by the tower. See this area right where the graphic changes? That shows you how far the tower's range is. Like, it's not a coincidence that the tower has that the ground graphic changes here. That's how far the tower has range and how far the tower has sight. So as long as you're back here, you'll be able to see Shaco. Like, he can't go invisible by the tower. So if you're really having trouble with a laning Shaco, and granted you're not going to see that very often, then you can always go back to your tower where he won't be able to go stealth, and you'll be able to see him. Alright, so that's a little bit about dealing with Shaco. Again, anytime you see that cloud of smoke, you know he's going to be going invisible, so you can back up and you can try to deal with that. Now, one other thing that jumps out to me right away is the last hitting is not very good here at the tower. I mean, like, if we pull up the stats here, you can see 3 minion kills at the 4.5 minute mark. I think there's been about 4 waves of enemy minions. Oh, and like right there, Nasus, yeah, like coming forward on maybe 30% health into a 2v1 lane, that's not going to work out. So Shaco just came out of stealth and died right away. This is not enough minion kills. Like, this is extremely low. You have to learn to farm at the tower. One thing about Annie is she's in a very, very easy champion to farm with. Every time that you disintegrate, your Q skill comes off cooldown, you want to use it. Like, there's no reason to be auto-attacking to try to get minions. Like, right there, that was perfectly done. That's what you want to do. You want to just use it to farm minions, because remember, with Annie, every time that you kill a minion with Disintegrate, it refunds the mana cost. So it should be very easy to last hit. Again, whenever it's off cooldown, just use it to kill a minion, and then use it to kill another minion. So there you go. I mean, that's okay, but see, it's still only 8 minion kills. You missed about half of those minions or more. So anyway, something you can practice. Annie is pretty easy to farm with. Now, one other thing here. Notice the brush here. Neither you, Damisan, nor this Nasus player are controlling this brush. You need to, if you want to be safe in the lane, you need to make sure to control the brush. So you've just given it up to Shaco. Now he can deceive out of the brush and hit you from his stealth. So you want to control this as much as possible. Like, when you come forward, when the minions come forward, you should be trying to get into the brush to control it, at least if you know they're not already in there. And again, here, I know that you're probably trying to save your stun, but you should really just be, you should probably be using your Disintegrate to last hit. So, like, right here, like, yeah, see, it's just so easy for Shaco to come out of the brush and hit you there, because you have no control of this, and you have no vision in here. So when the minions come forward, you should be trying to gain control of that, or alternately, come over here. Like, if you're over here, it'll be harder for Shaco to deceive out of the brush. So yeah, taking control of that brush. Like, right now, they've both left the brush. You guys should go into it and to seek to control this. See, once again, you've given control of it up to Shaco. Also, just standing here, not sure what the reason for that was, but anyway, yeah, like, once again, see how no one is controlling this brush here? And like right now, you've just given control of the brush up again to Shaco very easily. And that's going to allow him to come out, allow him to stealth in the brush and then pop out and hit you. So again, just something to keep in mind. You guys are not making any effort to control this. Like, Shaco can pop out any second now and hit Nasus. Looks like he wasn't going to do that there, but it's very easy for him to do so. So anyway, that's the sort of thing I'm trying to point out. Again, you also haven't been using your Disintegrate very much right now to try to last hit minions. And so, like, right there, again, Shaco's going to de-stealth, come after you. But here, you guys are doing the right thing to counter-attack him, and a nice job finishing him off there. That's the other thing about Shaco. Remember, he is a very squishy champion. He has very little armor, very little magic resist, unless he explicitly builds it. So when he comes out to try to attack him, if you have a stun queued up, you can always turn and counter-attack him. Like, when he comes out and hits you, if you immediately turn and run away every time, then you just make it too easy for him to harass. Anyway, once again here, a lot of minions here should be getting these last hits. You can probably kill them all with Incinerate. Walking backward isn't going to do anything against Karthus. So again, too many minions missed here. You can see 14 is not all that good at this point in time here. Also, now one other thing. Notice you guys have pushed a tower here. You guys have pushed the minion wave to tower. You should go into the rush and then blue pill. Go back to base. You've got 1,000 gold to spend. You're on 1/3 health. Like, this is the proper time to go back to base. If you had gone back to base right when you pushed the minions up to the tower, you could probably be back to lane right about now. And then you'd be full health and you wouldn't have to worry about getting killed. So because you're so low on health, you have to play really defensively, and then you miss out on more farm. Like, notice all these minion kills are being lost here due to lacking farm. Yeah, like right here, you have your Tibbers up. Just you can flash after Vlad and kill him, or you could have, but apparently did not. So yeah, and there, like there, your flash was up, your stun was up, Tibbers was up. You could flash Tibbers, and then you could have stunned Vlad there, and that probably would have been a kill. Now, granted, flash ulting is something that's a little bit more difficult to do, but it is something you can do with practice. Now, you could do it on Shaco here too. Like right here, when Shaco came forward to farm those minions, you could flash out of the brush, stun him with your ultimate, then hit him with all your other skills, and he's probably going to die, especially if Nasus can get in a hit or two. Just standing here in the brush is pointless. Like right now, you can flash ult, you could kill him right now. So anyway, just standing here does nothing. This is a total waste of time. If you're going to just stand in the brush, you should go back to tower. You should go back to base, because you don't want to be running around on 1/3 health. It's just too easy for people to kill you. Anyway, Karthus, the Karthus who disconnected, level 1, you can see he's going to get taken down by this Shaco because Shaco is 5 levels higher than him. That's too easy. And so there it is. There's the flash ult. And look how well this is turning out. You can see you got off the flash, you got off the ult, got the stun, and Shaco is able to deceive away. So that's a little bit unfortunate, not able to follow that up. You can see Nasus is chasing that now. Here, Vlad's coming in against you. A nice stun should allow you to get away, hopefully. Nasus just needs to hit that Vlad once or twice, but doesn't look like that's going to happen. So yeah, could have played that a little bit better. While all this was going on, you guys are missing a ton of farm. Like, look at all these minions missing out on all this, which is not good. That's a lot of golden experience that's going to waste. And yeah, I mean, the farming stats are just not too good. This other team is out farming you, or your team. Although, I guess this is indicative of a lower level game, because these numbers are just really low all the way around. I'm also not a big fan of going straight for Sorcerer's Shoes. You should get... Oh, there's that Karthus who's just so underleveled. Now he's just dying, yeah. So getting level 1 boots there, getting boots of swiftness or whatever they're called, the initial boots, that would be a good purchase, but not such a good fan. Yeah, boots of speed, picking them up early is good, but you don't really need to go for the level 2 boots early on. There are probably other items that would have been more useful. I mean, granted, it depends on what you're building, but Catalyst I seem to like a lot of the time on Annie. You could also go for Tear of the Goddess, so I would have suggested more going for the level 1 boots and then building some other item, because granted, the magic penetration's nice and all, but I mean, you have no extra health, you have no extra mana, you have no extra ability power. You're still on the minimum ability power. So in any case, just alternate items you can build there. Like right here, you can initiate on that Shaco. You should have had your stun queued up. If you had your stun queued up there, might have been a kill. So, oh well. Could have had the stun queued up there. Remember, you can charge up anti-stun in Fountain. You can always fire off her W skill, so you can always charge it up in Fountain, or even when you're not in Fountain. So like, you guys have stun charged up now, but there's nothing you can really do with them at this tower here. And I do think you're focusing a little too much on trying to get kills. Like, I see you with your stun charged up pretty much all the time, but you're not really killing any minions, and to be at 17 minion kills this late is really low. Anyway, so this is going to be an attempt at a kill here. Veigar should initiate this. He's not, but it looks like it's going to work pretty well. Anyway, there's the stun. There's the you should ignite this guy. There it is, and that's going to get the kill. So nicely done. But at the same time, while you're over there, you're not in bottom lane. And it looks like Nasus is in some trouble down here, but I guess he's going to be able to get out of that without too much trouble. So okay, looks like he's all right. So yeah, anyway, just to finish up with this a little bit, yeah, focus on last hitting. Try to see if you can last hit a little bit better. Maybe a little bit less focus on the stun, a little bit more focus on last hitting. Maybe some little bit different item choices. And in terms of team composition, see what you can do in terms of just getting a better team comp, because this isn't really the greatest team comp for this setup. So yeah, I mean, like the farming stats are super low for everybody, and that's probably the thing that will make the biggest difference more than anything, is being able to last hit a little bit more effectively. Okay. There's the final stats for the game. I'm sorry I have to cut it off here, but I'm running up against the 15-minute time limit. Thanks to Damisan, sorry about, still not sure what that name is. Thanks to Damisan for sending me this replay. I hope that this is useful for those of you who are still trying to learn League of Legends, just some different things to work on. Fortunately, it's an Annie game, and that's useful to me because I've played a lot of Annie in the past. So anyway, hope you enjoyed this, and I'm going to cut it short here. So until next time, thanks for watching, guys, and take care.